Hey there, Lisa. This is Sarah from Flourish at Artisan Indie, and I am critiquing your Etsy shop today, Kewish Designs. Now, you are in our Flourish program, so I'm sure that you've seen some of these critiques before. They kind of all follow the same format. With an Etsy shop, there's only so many areas that we can manipulate, right, to try to have a different outcome, to try to maybe change some things around to attract more business into our shops, at least on Etsy. So we're going to go ahead and go through it step by step. The way that this works is I'm recording my screen. I'm talking into a microphone. So you should be able to kind of see what I'm seeing and hear my thoughts as we go through your shop. I do like to start with branding because I really think branding I think it's so huge. I really think it's, I like to call it the foundation that your business is built on. And it sounds kind of, I don't know, all serious and stuffy maybe, but it really is such an important thing. And I've found with handmade sellers, craft business owners, that they don't really think of themselves as a real business. They're just, they do a craft or a hobby, something that maybe they learned when they were younger, or maybe something they just do for fun. And someone said, hey, that's pretty awesome. You should sell it. And I think, oh, well, okay. Where do I sell it? I sell it on Etsy or eBay or Craigslist. And they don't really see themselves as a legitimate business owner. But not only are you and are they legitimate business owners, but I think even more so. See, a regular business that you might shop at, let's say in a shopping district, they are what you would call a reseller. They buy wholesale and then sell retail. What you're doing is so much more than that. You're actually sourcing materials and creating them with your own hands, designing them, thinking about new collections. It's so much more than just picking something out of a catalog or a website and ordering in bulk and then displaying in a store. You're actually creating the product that you sell, and that means so much more. So I think that absolutely you're a business owner. So when we talk about business, obviously you hear words like brand and branding, target market, target audience, marketing, promoting, and those all seem like big words, right? They all seem like, well, those are corporate words or those are business words. It's kind of hard to put those words into what I'm doing, but we do have to think about those words because those words are the tools that are going to get us sales. Okay, so branding, uber important. Your branding should display your brand's message. Okay, so right here, this top section of your shop, this is called the shop. Well, it's been called a lot of things. It was called a cover banner. It was called an Etsy banner. It was called a shop cover, shop photo. Holy cow. Whatever you call it, this space right here. This should be the sign above your door. Okay, so if you had a physical business and you were, in a shopping mall, let's say, or even if it was an outside strip mall, you would have a sign above your door, right? Telling people on the outside, hey, this is what you can find here in this store. This is the name and maybe a little tagline saying, hey, this is what you can find here. You wouldn't just put a bunch of pictures above your door, would you, of what you make? That would be kind of silly. So why are you doing that here? There is plenty of room in your shop, as you can see, for you to showcase your pictures, your product pictures. Up here in the banner, that's not an appropriate place for it. What this does, right off the bat, it turns people off. Now you might say, well, that was kind of mean. Please know anything I say in this critique is not mean at all. I mean everything I say with love. I only have a short amount of time to get the words in. But what I mean is this is all noise. This is busyness. This is distraction. I'm gonna take you to Gail's shop. And I know people that chronically watch these critiques, and it's funny because I always feel like I'm repeating myself because I always say the same thing. They've seen this shop a million times because I always go there because I love her shop so much. But Gail Schmidt, she's a Flourish member. And if anybody's watching this on YouTube and you're not sure what Flourish means, if you're a handmade seller, if you're thinking about getting into selling handmade items, I represent Flourish and Artisan Indie. Flourish is our program. It's a membership program, small membership fee every month, $15, and you get to learn all of this stuff from experts that are in the craft industry, people that know how to optimize websites and shops and product photographers and all that kind of good yumminess. So if you're interested, you can visit www.artisanindie.com and click Join Flourish, and you can join us. All right, so Abigail Grace Co. used to be called Shabby Cottage Adorned, right? Shabby Cottage Adorned. Now she rebranded, and as she should, to Abigail Grace Co. This is her cover photo, right? Or her Etsy shop banner. It tells the name of what her business is, and then it has a tagline. Now, this tagline doesn't really say what she sells, and that's okay. It doesn't have to. But it does let you know that it has something to do with beauty, right? And you definitely get a feminine feel. So what do you think that this person, Gail, what does she sell here in this shop? Well, you know it's going to be feminine. You know it's probably going to be something romantic, maybe a little on the, I don't know, Victorian or maybe shabby. You think of kind of something light and playful, right? And then you look at her products. And yeah, that totally makes sense. Like her brand totally describes the product that she sells, these beautiful pieces of jewelry. Now, Gail has been in Flourish since the very beginning. She takes some pretty amazing photos. I think she is at the top of her game when it comes to product photography. But as you can see, her branding, it really describes what she does just by looking at it at a glance. So let's go back over here to your shop, and boom. So I don't know where I am. I'm assuming I'm at Kewish Designs because I see it here, but I'm just kind of confused. There's just a lot going on. You have this in the banner, and then you have it here in the shop icon. I can see bits of it here. So what I recommend is you really need to get branded. You need to have a logo. You need to have a font that's associated with your name. You need to have a nice image that's going to attract your target market, and your target market would be those that are going to buy your type of jewelry design. You want to attract those people and bring them in. So, for example, your jewelry has kind of more of a boho feel to it, more of a maybe even metaphysical feel to it, right? So you want your branding to attract those things. I don't think Gail's branding that was light and pastel and had roses, I don't think that would attract your target market. So that's a good example of showing, well, hey, she sells jewelry, I sell jewelry, I could have branding like that and it should work the same. No, even though you both sell jewelry, your target audiences are different, right? Because the people that are buying from you are going to be more into copper jewelry and you have this crescent moon and beads, and whereas Gail's going to be more that feminine kind of elegant feel towards it. Not that you don't have a feminine feel towards your jewelry. I'm going to get myself in trouble, but I know you know what I mean. So that's what I would do. I would absolutely connect with a graphic designer and say, hey, I need to be branded, and within Flourish, and you can go to the Artisan Indie website, and I think it's under advisors. I think that's the word. We're just building the site, rebuilding it. So I think it's advisors or experts, but you click on that and it'll show you all the Flourish experts. And remember, because you're a Flourish member, you get a discount with them. You can get a $25 mentor call. Talk to them for half an hour on Skype even. Tell them what you want. Tell them what you're looking for. Have them go through your shop and come up with a plan, because this is so important. Your branding is going to affect, and it should affect, your product photography, your social media, your marketing and promoting materials, and you yourself will not believe how much better you will feel once you're branded. Everything just kind of falls into place at that point. You may even want to rename your business. And I see this all the time. I can't tell you how many sellers on Etsy are their last name and then the word designs, or their last name and the word studios, or their last name and the word handmade. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And especially from like our generation, a lot of people did that. You named your business after yourself. But you also want to think about the sales, the marketing, and the promotional value of that. Is that attracting your target market? You know, sometimes coming up with a new name and a whole rebrand that makes more sense, that's going to be more attractive to those that are going to buy from you, is really the better move. So whether you're rebranding completely and changing your name and getting a new tagline and all that, or if you're just going to go ahead and keep your name, but, you know, get a different branding done where you have a logo and your own kind of fonts and colors and things, either way, it needs to be done in some shape or form. Now, once you get that banner done, you can have a shop icon done, which usually is the logo or pieces of the logo, or maybe let's say that you had an owl in your logo, but then you could carry the owl down here. It would make it all nice and fluid. So you want to have that. It kind of makes it all together. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I have a Mac. And sometimes my mouse, like, I hit it wrong and it just makes things go kooky. All right, so once you get your banner in place and you have your shop icon, it'll have this whole nother feel into your shop. They'll know, hey, they're at Kewish Designs, or maybe another name. And then they'll have a tagline that'll either tell them, hey, you can find copper and silver handmade jewelry here, or maybe something else, but still will let them know what they can expect to find. You know, let them know that they are in a jewelry store. Here you have copper and silver handmade jewelry. This is wonderful. You want to have a lot of keywords in this line, and these do appear to be pretty strong keywords. If you want to get a little more specific, like copper earrings and silver necklaces or something like that, you can. But this is good here too. This, even though Etsy calls it a tagline, it doesn't really need to be. It does need to describe what you're going to find in your shop. And Google uses this line as a priority to kind of determine where to sort you. So having keywords, words that describe the items that you sell, is key to have in this section. I love that you have a great, beautiful picture of your face here. It's close up. You're smiling. That's great. A lot of sellers put their logo or some random product pic or something in there. And remember, you're selling on Etsy, so you want to humanize the whole process between you and your customer. You're a person. You're not a website. You're not Amazon. You're an actual person, and that is part of the reason why they buy on Etsy to begin with. So it's good that you're showcasing yourself there. It looks like you're utilizing the 3 featured items. I would play around with this. I'm not sure what I like. I wonder if I can show you mine. I have the new layout. Let's see. Let me see if I can go to, let's see. All right, so this is the new layout, and I think this is a thing. I'm not sure if they're testing it or if they're just slowly rolling it out. They haven't announced anything, but I really like this look. Now, it depends on how many items you have featured or have starred. I have 5, so it gives me this layout. I really like it. It looks nice and clean. Here you have an opportunity to have one, really nice big one featured. I think that's great for holidays and things like that. If you have something that you really want to highlight or show, that's our new Artisan Indie Flourish merchandise shop right there. Sorry to kind of go through the dashboard. So, you have 3, you can feature 4, it makes these a little bit smaller. You can try the 5 feature and see if it'll give you one big picture and then the 4 over here on the side. I think that, anything that you can do to make it look modern and fresh is always a good thing. Within your shop, you don't want it to be too busy, but to have these featured items showcased well is always a good thing. Now you may say, well, what do I put here? Do I just keep the same kind of items here? The items that you have are beautiful. They're nice. It's Mother's Day coming up, so I really like this. I probably would have this one first. And all you have to do is unstar your items and then restar them. And in the order that you star them is the order that they're going to be showcased here. So Mother's Day is coming up. I like that you have that here. Anything that any kind of season that's coming up, like we have, what do we have? Weddings right now. We have graduation coming, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Think about the things that are coming up, and then you can feature anything that you sell that would fit into those things here. These look nice. 32 items, which is not a bad start. I think that's a nice, amount of items. You want to try to get that really between 60 and 100 if possible. And really that's not for any reason other than I think customers tend to take you a little bit more seriously when you have a good chunk of items in your shop. They know you're not a fly-by-night operation. And as much as e-commerce is popular nowadays, people still don't trust people, right? So if they know they can't go to a store and return it, they're still a little weary of shopping online. So I think anything that you can do to build rapport and to build trust with your customer or with your shopper is always a good thing. So I would try to bump that up a little bit as you're able. Now that doesn't mean to fill your shop with fluff. All right, you don't have to fill your shop with fluff, but definitely see if you can try to get that raised up just a bit more. All right, I do see an area of opportunity here. So you're using your category titles in your shop. That's this section right here. It looks like you're using it to describe the style. So maybe your boho styled stuff is here. Maybe your heart styled stuff is here, leaves, etc. This is actually a very important section for SEO. Not a lot of people know that. For both Etsy and Google, actually. So what you want to put here is some really strong keywords. So instead of you saying boho, you want to put boho copper earrings, boho copper pendants or necklace. Remember, you have like 15, or did they up it to 20? No, I can't remember. You have 15 to 20 categories that you can use here. So you don't have to, and no, you don't want to have a ton of categories with just one in them, but you do want to get a little bit more specific in your section titles. So maybe hand-stamped copper earrings or copper dangle beaded earrings. I know you only have certain characters, so you're going to have to put what fits in there. You do have them organized, right? You have it from the smallest word to the longest, so this looks nice and clean. So that is done right. But I would rename these to be a little bit more specific as far as keywords go. All right, we're going to go down to your About page. We got a picture of San Francisco. That was my really bad attempt of singing. Beautiful kitty cats. My goodness, look at them. Here is your tools. Okay, so remember, it is very important for you to have photos that definitely make you look real, like that you're really making these things, that This about section needs to be about you. It needs to be about what you like, what what you're passionate about, how you learned to do what you do and why you do it kind of way. You do want to show a little bit of your process, and you want to show your tools and materials, because people don't realize what maybe a pair of earrings goes through to get to that finished product. But you still have to keep in mind the sellability of that photo. So just because you want to put a beautiful picture of San Francisco in the bridge here, do you really want to have a picture with this coffee cup with like coffee kind of leaking down the side? And I know you're probably laughing, but people don't notice that thing. That's not like a uber great picture. You have this beautiful picture of the cats, but it's all dark. It almost looks like they're hanging out in a casino, doesn't it? I don't know. It looks like a slot machine back here. And you got the paper towel kind of crumbled up here. This is an awesome workspace with some awesome tools and stuff. But again, it kind of has this like creeper, like I'm going to get my leg hacked off kind of vibe to it, And I know, I know it's kind of funny. But that's what it's cool to see these tools, and it's cool to see kind of how old they are and how much they've been used and things like that. But you still have to look at the photo and say, is this a photo of a craft studio or a workshop that people would want to kind of take a tour through and see my process? Or is this like something in an old, dirty, kind of crazy basement that people would be terrified of, or they'd want to make a haunted house out of? Okay, so you still want to attract people to your product and to your shop. So when you're taking photographs of your workspace, or you're showing photographs about yourself, having a photo of you and your family, or you and your pets, or whatever, would also be a good one to put in here. You want to also still be selling at the same time. So like, for example, when I go live in the Flourish groups, I'm not just rolling out of bed with my hair kind of messy, getting on screen and saying, hey, what's up, guys? Even though I think you guys would love me anyway. No, I don't. I have to be present. I have to present myself well. So that's what you still want to do, even though the about section is about you and you want to kind of show, little snippets of yourself. You still want them to be done in a way that's going to attract people to buy from you. All right. This is awesome. Look at you with all these links. That's great. You got Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. You have a blog. Fantastic. And your website. That's great. So that's awesome. Let's go up to your shop. So I'm not sure how I feel about your photos. I have to be honest. And there are some that I absolutely love. I think this photo would be absolutely perfect without this flower here. I mean, this is gorgeous. You have this wonderful light right here coming on the copper. Your beads, here, let me blow it up so I can get a closer look. Your beads are gorgeous here. I mean, you're picking up the light on the facets. You can see, I mean, I'm not in your target market per se. I'm not a big wearer of copper. I love silver jewelry. But I almost want to buy these just because of how pretty you're making the earrings look. But as far as product photography go, this would actually be quite the perfect photo without this in it. If you just had this nice white vase or whatever it is that you're hanging them from, and whatever it's sitting on here, without this, it would be a perfect shot, in my opinion, or pretty close to perfect. I'm not a fan at all of these. I don't like any of these kind of, I'm not even sure what they are. Copper's real, funny. You have to be careful when you're photographing it, because the background really can make it change its image. It goes from looking kind of nice and pretty and shiny to, old and dirty. And so you gotta have to be careful with that. So some of these I really like, and some of these I don't like at all. Now that tells me that perhaps you are in the process of shooting new photos. This isn't bad either. I'm not sure how I feel about Not sure how I feel about the white background. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's not probably, it's okay. It's pretty. Again, I'd get rid of the pink flower here. Got some nice light. You know, this is kind of pretty. So I would say if you're in the process of improving your photos, which it looks to me like you are, this is definitely an improvement. These look nice. I would get rid of this flower and just have it be the white background, the soft white background in your items. Listen, you have something that's copper. It has different designs on it. It has different stampings on it. It has beads and layers, and you don't need to compete with that. You don't need all that noise in there. So your shop is very noisy. You don't want that, especially when it comes to an online shop. So I would say, you know, try to stay with a light, non-distracting background. If you want to use this white vase and if you want to use this, it's okay, but get this other stuff out of there. And I would sprinkle some modeled shots in here. So you have some photos with your jewelry actually on a person, kind of sprinkled in would be a good one. A good thing to do. All right, your pricing. So you're using 95-cent price points on some of your items, and then you're using 99 cents on others. You want to be consistent. So I would use 95 or 99. You choose. Either or work really great. Choose one and stick with that. It does look like your pricing in the way that we teach in Flourish, which is, you know, anything over $19.95 is in $5 increments, $19.95, $24.95, $29.95, $34.95, so on and so forth. So that looks really good. Oh my goodness. Did you see it did it again? I'll tell you what, you know, I really should get to you kind of used to using that trackpad thing that Apple gives you. All right, let's look at your SEO. I think these earrings look really cool. I wish you had a picture of these hung up here. Like the blue color. I like that there's silver or titanium or something here. I like that. Okay, copper beaded dangle earrings, belly dance earrings, ooh, copper drop earrings, glass beaded earrings, nickel-free earrings, and tribal earrings. All right, I have to say, I think that you got some really great keywords in there. You're using some long tail keywords, which are awesome. You know, rumor is that Etsy's going to go to a shorter title, but that hasn't been confirmed. So until that happens, I think you're good. Using the format that you're using, I like that you're using long tail keywords with the space in between. That is my preferred format, mainly because I always like to think of the user experience. So of course you want to affect the algorithm on the back end, but on the front end, you also want the customers to enjoy being in your shop. And, you know, if you use commas, it looks like a run-on sentence. If you use those slashy things, it's distracting. So I think space does look the best. Let's though see if the keywords that you're using are a popular search term. Now, how I do this is I go up to the search bar here and I type in what keyword phrase you're using. So you see how I'm typing in, I got copper. And what pops up here is copper, copper bracelet, copper jewelry, and you see this whole list here. Well, what that's telling you, this is the auto-populate feature through Etsy, and it's telling you, hey, for the word copper, these search terms that we're auto-populating for you are our most popular search terms for the word copper. They're doing that to help you find what you're looking for faster. So you don't have to type in copper anniversary, you type in copper and boom, it gives it to you and you can click it. So that kind of is a tool for sellers to use to see, hey, this is, you know, what are people, what are customers, what are searchers looking for when they type things into the search bar? So let's do copper beaded, and you have dangle earrings. Oh, you see how that all went away? Hang on just a minute. Okay, sorry, I had to pause. There was some technical difficulties. Ah, sorry, computers. All right, so I don't really remember exactly what I was saying. I think it had something to do with if you type this in and you don't see anything being auto-populated, then it's just not the term that customers or shoppers are using to find that product. So you may want to rearrange your words or do some keyword research. You can use tools like Marmalade or Etsy Rank. You can, even just keep a notebook and let's say do, instead of copper beaded earrings, let's try copper dangle earrings. Look, boom, there it is, copper dangle earrings, and then space dash space, and then perhaps beaded dangle earrings. There it is, space dash space. And then think, of course, the style. Like you have belly dance earrings, so that's good. What about maybe boho dangle earrings or boho jewelry? Also, when you are working on your SEO, you're basically optimizing and using keywords for your title, you don't just want to describe the item itself. You want to describe what the item is. You want to describe what the item could be used for. So let's say festival jewelry maybe, or maybe who would wear it, and then who it could be gifted for, maybe Mother's Day jewelry or, Christmas gift or gift for her, gift for women, things like that. So you want to include all of that in your title because that's how everyone's going to find you. People don't always come to Etsy and know, oh, I want to get a pair of copper dangle earrings, right? They're like, I'm looking for a gift for my best friend or a gift for my sister. I know she's kind of a hippie. I might look for hippie jewelry, or I might look for gypsy jewelry, or I might look for gift for her and just kind of browse. So you want to make sure that you're kind of touching on all of those things as long as it's relevant. You still want to stay relevant to what your item is up in your search terms. So, I know we're over 30 minutes. I really hope that helped. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in Flourish. I'll be more than happy to help. I'm also going to send this to your conversation area in Etsy, so you can always respond back there. But thanks so much, Lisa, for letting me review your shop. And I think you make beautiful, beautiful things, and I think you're going to have a lot of success. You just need to present it properly online so that you can get that traffic in and ultimately make those sales. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.